Hello and welcome everybody to my first little stream attempt. This is our dramatic music for no reason. So we could probably start off with something like welcome, but we won't. Obviously this is our first try, so any feedback, good or bad, would be appreciated. And on tonight's menu, we'll be changing or figuring out some stuff with our new website that we want to build, our custom coded website for ourselves. Our goal of this project is to basically get better SEO rankings and then at the exact same time figure out more about the YouTube side of things. Enough of the storyteller drama. Alright, so let's get started. First of all, we are basically going to go for a look that is a combination of the future, because Christo is one of my personal heroes. So we're going to take some of their design elements, take some inspiration from this, like the way they put out their layout is just beautiful, works well on layout. This website was built with Webflow, but we're actually going to hand code it using what are we going to use? Visual Studio Code. But before we get into all the coding good stuff, we are going to start with some wireframes. So before we can start with the wireframe, we kind of have to look at doing proper SEO or keyword research to figure out what type of content we'll need to rank well in Google and other search engines. So the best place to start would be to actually look at our current website and then have a look at our structure layout, see if we want to improve anything. And then basically I would say let's go through a couple of different SEO websites, because here's a bonus tip. SEO companies, they specialize in just ranking well on Google or on other search engines. I'm just going to say Google from now on. It's just 10 times easier. So if we can figure out, obviously these folks do this for a living, I'm guessing their websites and the way the content is set up will work well for the Google crawler bots. But now, the awesome thing about SEO in 2021 is that we can't just focus on writing for robots anymore. We have to focus on building a website that is beautiful to look at, number two, I would say. And then number three, that part is wrong. Actually, we'll have to look at number one, getting a website that works for humans. Number two, works well for Google. And number three, looks good as well. Let's rather go with that. It will make it a lot more sense than doing the other way around. Right, so first of all, we're going to look in our country of South Africa. So let's just start with SEO company South Africa. So if we start here, we can see these oaks. They've got a Google My Business popping up right here. I do see them popping up quite a lot, like in Polokwane and whatnot. But I do think they are actually situated in KZN. So we'll skip the ads for now. So first, this is a directory, so no, we're not going to look at this. So let's look at these oaks. So if we take their layout, they start off obviously with a very fast website. The loading speed is great. So I just want to see, we'll generate a audit right here. Just want to see what this stuff looks like. Loads really well, so I'm expecting to see only a couple of different images. I don't expect a lot of images. don't worry about the site, it's actually breaking because we're looking it up. Right, so the SEO is quite well. They've got beautiful first contentful paint. This is to do with I would say one of the latest SEO updates from Google. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. So I'm guessing it's not going to be a lot of image heavy content. So let's go through it. Just little blocks. Looks good. Their content is really good. They've got a lot of inbound links. I'm guessing these will go, yeah, to some of their other pages. So they just go for keywords like these. Alright, so these folks do know what they're doing, but like stuffing keywords and that kind of stuff. Google's supposed to penalize somebody for using too many of these keyword stuffings, but I'm guessing these folks do SEO on a daily basis, so they're kind of riding the wave, I should say, on how much classifies as stuffing and how much is just on that edge. I think these oaks actually do it really well. So if we look at what they're saying, they're repeating a lot of the keywords that they want to go for. But yeah, as we can see, it's not actually beautiful content, straightforward, but it's working really well for them. Our approach with our new website would be we would want to show our designs, because obviously we would want the people to have a great experience when you get into the website. If you just look at this, sure, it ranks well, but first impressions, not that great. But getting back to the original one, I think these works, I've seen them before, Ruby Digital. If we jump into their website, this is obviously, all right, so this is our first clue here. I'm guessing this is probably an H1, heading 1. They are trying to rank for this keyword. They've got the subheading and SEO. Right, so again, I'm guessing we won't see a lot of image heavy content here. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is the first meaningful paint on your website is extremely important in 2021. So yeah, that's why we're not seeing a lot of images. But I still feel we would want to go a bit more image heavy on this side, because as good as SEO is, it's not the only way of generating more traffic for your website. If you look at other ways you can do this, this is obviously getting anything from your social media. Now we're looking at Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you choose to get your brand out there. Could be used as a way to generate more traffic to your website. So we are targeting that approach. Obviously, the bigger your brand also becomes, you will see that Google also trusts you, or gives you a how can I say this, a higher trust factor, which then means that you will start ranking better. Obviously, you need a great website, but having a good brand behind it is also really important. So this is our new approach. It would be just not to focus on SEO, but also focus on getting some of our social medias up and running correctly during this crazy last 2 years in the world. We've been fortunate enough to have some awesome clients and work really well through it. So that is awesome, but there's also this thing in marketing where you never want to just rely on incoming leads or word of mouth or any of that. You want to always look to the future. So our new website is for that. We want to jump up in rankings. We want to get our brand out there in social media, YouTube, all of those lekker things. So getting back to this task at hand. So what I see is they just have a lot of content with the SEO, with their keyword. That's fine. What I do like, this is quite cool. But I think what we will take from the future, if we look at just layout, these are one of the courses that I'll be buying from them in the future. This is an example of a really good landing page. I just think like this looks 10 times better than a page that just starts out something like this or this. So we are probably going to look at a full screen image. This is for a landing page, so we're not going to use this part, but I think some kind of background, probably some dark color, so we can have a good contrast of the white and the dark colors. I think that might be our first choice. So I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna go jump into Figma. These are just a couple of paste and copy and paste that I made so far. So what I want to go up and do here is let's jump to Photoshop. We'll do this. Paste this. Just to remind myself, listen, this is basically what I want to do. So we'll say home heading. We'll go jump back to Figma. We'll say now, yeah, open. I think on Figma it's Control Shift and K. That's it. So we'll jump with this. Now I want to, okay, these are all linked together. So we'll just have to break that apart. Let me just do that somewhere now. So if we now jump to this, I'm going to lock this. I'm going to do that again. So that's basically what we're going to do for now. I don't think, yeah, I think I'll do this so I can also have the content. And then we'll break this down into X amount of pages. So we'll first find the look on this video and then, yeah, we'll take it from there. So this is where we'll need some copywriting, our intro and mission. Our service blocks, this is basically, if you look at our website right now, we are looking at these blocks. So, I'm actually going to put on some music, so it's not that boring just to listen to my voice. Let's see if we can't find some stereotypical lo-fi music. Hopefully it's not too loud. And then, yeah, let's get cracking. If you don't hear me, it's not because I'm not talking. It's actually just because I'm focusing and figuring out what we want to do here. Or I should rather say, if you don't hear me talking, it's not because my mic is broken or the stream has gone faulty. It's basically just because I'm focusing. What I normally do when I start building a website from scratch is I just try and find as many as possible good ideas and good looks that I would want to incorporate. So if you look at the future, they went with a really clean layout here. I just want to show you a good example of this. I'm going to open this one again. I'll just do this. So they went with really good typography in a really large font style. This obviously gives you this impression of they are comfortable using a lot of space. So this might be one of the things that we look at. Also, awesome thing that they did here is if you look at, they've got their header up here, but that header is actually not sticky. This header, which is unique to every page, it actually sticks. So that's something that we'll be building in later into our own website. For now, we're looking at some image. Next up, we want to look at our intro and why. So in this part of the content, let me just cancel out my WhatsApp so nobody's reading my messages. obviously we locked this, so we'll have to go back and unlock this again. Finding your mission is always a really strange thing in life. And I thought a lot about why are we actually doing what we're doing. And the best answer that I can actually come up with without sounding hippy-dippy or something like that would be it feels really good in helping other people succeed. If you could make good money while helping others succeed, that is a awesome mission for me. So if we look at this right now, and obviously if you love tech, being in tech and working on websites and being indoors most of the time, so you're not exposed to cold if it's winter or too much sun in the summer, our job is very comfortable. So yeah, I think we just owe it to our clients to keep up with really good knowledge of the industry, so we can make sure their website looks great, it helps generate more leads and traffic, and also ranks well. So our mission is to help. There's this one saying that says, if you don't track something, how are you able, what is that saying? Let's find that saying. I think it's track goal. I think we should probably see something like this. No. Something that you can't measure is not trackable. Something you don't track is not measurable. But basically it boils down to, listen, if you don't keep track of how many people you've helped or companies you've helped, how do you know like if you're going up or down? So let's just say our mission right now is to help 1,000. Might be dreaming too big or too small, depending on who you ask. But let's say our mission is to help 1,000 companies grow online. I know we used grow up here. I just want to change this block, otherwise I'm going to go mad. Now we're getting back to these links ones. I'm actually thinking just lock these for now. This should sort it out. Actually, let's before we lock this, let's just move this back to the middle and then lock it. Apologies if my Figma skills don't seem that great. It's like the third time I'm using it. Awesome tool. Suggested to any creative company out there. Really awesome little thing to get around with. It's not working right now like I wanted to, but I don't think we should get into that technical part right now that much, or actually care about it that much right now. So we'll change the font here to, let's say, just 100. No, it's still a bit large. I would want to maybe go down to 75. Also in this video, I'm going to try and push for 8 hours. I have a really crazy sleep schedule now with all these lockdown rules and whatnot. So yeah, we're working at late nights, but it's basically the same as working during the day. Our mission is to help 1,000 companies grow online. You'll read this up here, so I think we're gonna change this a bit. Something missing here. Copywriting normally to me is you have to get your core ideas up on the board. It is not vital to have the finished product right now. We just want to say something like this. So for the past 6, I think it's about 7 years, let's not say average. Oh gosh. I also think it would be funny or an interesting idea to. I always tend to see marketing, as most marketing companies are a bit dishonest. Like you'll always see on every single normal website, you'll see our services are the best, our team is the best, our product's the best, and to me it's not going into enough detail. So I would want to try and be a bit more honest. I think if you're not honest with your clients, you're actually doing them a disservice. So instead of just saying, listen, we're the best and whatnot, I am going to try and write a bit more content that approaches more on the human side of stuff. So generate more money and traffic online. There's something else missing here. I just don't know what it is yet. So I'm just gonna say this for now. Our 6 blocks are quite easy. Now, this is always an interesting part to me, is if you look at how should your website flow, you have to look at what are the people that are coming to your website looking for. So number one, normally what we do on our home pages is we introduce the company, and you can basically see it as a really fancy company profile. So yeah, now that we've got some of this going, our 6 blocks will be quite easy to figure out. These, obviously this is just copy and pasted files from something, I can't remember where. I'll just keep this here. So as I was saying, if we look at what flow should we be looking at, like what would the clients want to see next? So if we think about what we normally like to do is try and get inside the mind of a client, or anybody that's interested in one of our services. So if you would come to our website, I think I'm going to change the music a bit. It's getting a bit monotonous, so apologies if you hear double music. I just want to find us some interesting music. Give me 1 second. Hopefully that's not too loud, hopefully it's not too soft. I think that might be a bit too drowning. Yeah, let's listen to this. Okay, so you get into the company, you learn a bit more about them and why they're doing what they're doing. Another thing that I would want to add in here later could be a well-made video. We could add this in here later. Reason being SEO. As soon as you scroll below this line right here, So this will be 1920 by 1080. So this will be like a full screen, like basically this. There's something like this, right? So if you start scrolling below this, Google actually also looks at this and says, listen, the person scrolling through is finding this interesting or is looking for more information. So we call this content below the fold content. This comes from an old newspaper industry of content below the fold. So looking at this right now, we would want some kind of video. I don't know what kind of video we want yet, but we'll leave that there. Scrolling down, we've got our 6 blocks of services. We'll probably have the same content. Our content that we wrote here is kind of good. I would probably just make it a bit more colorful, more professional. We could go with about us here. But what I'm thinking, like our chosen keyword for this is digital marketing company, I believe. So I think we might go with about us here. Let's see what I did here. I think what we did here is we just went with this keyword as well. We would probably have something like this again. The beautiful thing about working with websites is, or anything digital actually, you can always change it later. So I'm gonna do this, put this to 60 for now, have it left aligned just because. So that will basically be our, what's called is our USP. What makes us better? What makes us different? So what our look will look like right here is something that I like what they do here. I actually saw it on this page. This will come in later. Actually, this could be our. This could be it. What makes us better? If you look at how cool they did it over here. I think this will be it. Let's do this. I'll do this. Naming it home USB. Getting back into Figma. Testimonials. I think because we want to jump into some of our latest clients, we would want to have some of their testimonials up here. Our clients really love our work, but there's always, it comes back to that thing of, if you're a what is that saying? It says the shoemaker children never have shoes, or something along those lines. So that's normally the case. We do great work for other companies when it comes to keeping their stuff up to date, and ours is a mess. So yeah, I think what we'll do here is we'll actually swap testimonials if I'm thinking about this right now. Or actually, yeah, I think we'll swap testimonials down. If I could remember how to drag the block, that would be great. No, wrong block. Nope. Nope. Hello. Let's see. Oh well, seems... Oh, it is stuck in a group, so actually... What is this? Oh well, let's retype it then. I think what I would want to do is actually have something to do with these are beautiful images. I'm thinking of doing anything with case studies, something along these lines. I found another website that is really good. Obviously, we're going with the blue color. Blue has just worked really well. This is actually animated. First time I'm seeing this. One of the companies I was looking at for inspiration had like some of the people that they worked for. Just scroll by here. Obviously, oh, another thing that we have to look at is, right, so what makes us better? Our work. I don't know, I forgot this. We'll probably combine our work, or probably our latest work, so people can see the actual skill level that we are now. This again, I think what we'll do is we'll have little blocks here. And we'll change this block just to make it stand out a bit more with something like this. So I want to move this. I could figure that out, that'd be great. Like I said, it's like my third time working with Figma, so we'll ignore that for now. But basically we'll just have a couple of these blocks, something along these lines. Ignore this for now. This workaround will basically be something along these lines, I would say. That's fine. Thing about your wireframes, you never want to overdo it. There's no reason to. So just doing extra or spending extra time doing this is not as useful, especially if you're the one that's going to build the design and the coding as well. So our latest work will be really good. Our other social proof right here, I would say, is our certifications or skill badges. So that might be our Google Ads stuff. It might be to do with our Facebook certifications, might be to do with what we know about SEO, what we know about design, anything like that. We'll probably use something like this here. And then below this, now I'm wondering, are we going to use case study here? Might be a good idea. This always is a bit sticky because you have to then, like, if you go into saying, listen, here's some of our clients, you have to actually show some of the amount of money they generate through the websites. Some people are not willing to share that information, which is totally understandable. But what we can do is we can have old websites versus new. It's always a good one. Old v new. Google rankings is another one. Digital marketing overall. Yeah, something along those lines. And then I think below this we'll have testimonials. Yeah, that might be it. Footer and quick links. This is actually where I would want to have some kind of CTA, call to action. probably get in touch. I normally put this on the bottom of every website. Each and every page on your website should serve a purpose. So it could be anything from signing up to a newsletter, or subscribing to a group, or maybe contacting or filling in a form or anything like that. But each page should have its own little goal that it's trying to achieve. Later on, once this is done and I figured out how to use Figma correctly, we will then look at what's called conversion rate optimization, which is a fancy term of fine-tuning your website, the content, the language you use, all these cool things to help your website convert more leads, or convert more traffic into leads, I should say. And I'm thinking that might be okay for the first page. I'm going to end this first little stream test right here, and then come back once we figured out our colors. Thank you very much for watching.